Maybe you can.
Okay. All righty. This is our third week. It's talking about servant leadership. And last week we took the time to talk about the heart and the importance of the heart in this in a servant leader. Yeah. So again, this is taken from a book called Lead Like Jesus, written by Ken Blanchard. And I really enjoyed this book, and I've been using it for leadership training for several years. Okay. So let's get started here. Again, this week we're gonna talk about the head and how it impacts our decision-making process as being a servant leader. Okay? And Ken Blanchard uses the scripture John 13, 1 through 17 as his example here. And this is Jesus washing the disciples' feet. Yeah, a servant leader is supposed to be willing to serve others. And that's demonstrated by washing feet. Okay. Now, here in Janaea, ICF, we do wash feet every now and then, not often because of where we're located. But once in a while we'll be able to get some water and everything, and we do wash feet from time to time. I think that's important to do. What do you think, Diane?
Sorry. May you
What do you
please
think?
zoom a little bit so that I can be able to read?
Oh, okay, you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I was requesting if you can zoom a little bit so that I can be able to read.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see if I
Mhm.
can get this here. Do, 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 do. Uh, is that better? Worse? Can't see?
Yeah, but it's still small.
Still, okay, let me see how to do this here. I can get it bigger. Um, do, 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 do. Let me do this. Um, let me go out and come back in
Mm,
on this area.
mm,
Okay, let me
mm.
stop this here. And, okay, let's see here. For some reason or another, I can't find what I'm supposed to make it larger. Um, give me a minute to find it, please. Gotta be
Yes.
somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. So let me, um, share it again. Okay, is that better?
Yes, this is better.
Good, good. Okay, now, what I was asking you was, I think it's important that we actually, during communion, do wash feet every now and then. We can't do it every Sunday, when we have communion, just because of where we're located. But I like to try to do it, once or twice a year. And so what do you think about that?
May you ask me again? Maybe my network is not clear.
Okay, no problem. What do you think about washing feet during communion?
I think it's very important, and as the believers we need in our life.
Okay, okay, all right, good, all right, uh, so Ken Blanchett agrees with you, as I do as well. All right, so going forward, that, the, can you read that, vision and values?
Yes.
Okay,
Vision and values. A key aspect of the head in the servant leadership is having a clear vision rooted in a strong value. Jesus' ministry was driven by the vision of establishing God's kingdom on earth, characterized by love, justice, and service. In Ken's Blanchard, Blanchard's approach to leadership, particularly as outlined in his book, Lead Like Jesus, and the other writing, he often emphasizes the importance of vision in effective leadership, while Blanchard's specific model way vary across his works. A common framework he refers to involves the three key components of a vision.
okay, good, all right, so, now, what's the vision?
Uh, it's like having the clear image of where you are going.
Good, good, that's right, that's right. Every company should have a vision. Every person should have a vision. Every church should have a vision.
Mm,
Okay? So that's what we're talking about here is vision. Okay?
mm,
All right.
mm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it says three key components of a vision. They are one, significant purpose. This is the why of the organization or team. It's about understanding and articulating why the organization exists beyond just making money or completing tasks. This purpose is meant to be inspiring and motivating, providing a deeper reason for the work that is being done. It's about the impact that the organization aims to have on its customers, community, or the world. So if we talk about the church, okay, what's the purpose of your fellowship? Do y'all have a purpose statement for your fellowship?
For my,
Yes.
you say, do I have a
Does the fellowship itself have a purpose statement?
yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then it goes, so like GICF, we have a purpose statement.
Mm,
And then we break it down into three things that we try to do, the purpose of our fellowship. And say all fellowships should do something similar to that. Okay, all right. The picture of the future. You want to read that for us?
me?
Yeah, please.
Yes, picture of the future. This element of the vision describes what the organization aspires to become or achieve in the future. It's a vivid and a complete picture of what success looks like. This could be a specific goal, like becoming the leader in a particular market, or more general description of the organization's desired state, like being recognized for outstanding customer service. The key is that it provides a clear and motivating target for the team to work towards.
Right, okay, okay, so you have this overall vision, and then you have three components of it. First component is what is the purpose? Why does this organization exist? Why does this fellowship exist? What is it supposed to do? Okay, that's number one. Then two, like anything else, it can't be stagnant. It can't stand still. It has to be able to grow. So the question then is, growing to what? What is it supposed to look like? Uh, uh, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 1 year from now. What it's supposed to look like. Okay? All right.
Mm.
And then the last is clear values. Jean, can you read that for us?
Yes, Pastor Joe. The second one,
The third one,
clear.
clear values. Yes.
The third one, clear values. The third component involves the values that guides the behavior and I can see
Decisions.
that guide the value that guide the behavior and decision within the organization. These are the principle and standard that define how employees and leaders are expected to operate. Clear value have ensure that the pursuit of the significant purpose and the picture of the future is done in a way that in the way is consistent with the ethical and cultural identity of the organization.
All right, good. Now, so John, what does that mean? What do you think that means?
Clear value.
Yeah, what do you think that means?
I mean, for example, in our GICF, we have what we believe too. We have our cultural identity, right? And we have our rules. There are certain things that we do, and there are certain things we don't do.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Diane, what do you think it means? Diane? Maybe she can't hear me right now. But basically what it means is that as we go forward in making decisions about where we want to get to, what are the behaviors? What are the standards that we have in place that we're going to use as a basis when we make decisions? All right.
yes,
So
that's right.
Right. So for instance, we may say that one of our values is that a person cannot lie. Okay. So
Mm.
so if we're in a meeting and somebody asks a question that we don't want to really answer because we think it might be wrong or whatever, we can't escape answering that question by lying.
Mm.
We
We can just say we don't know.
Right, right. And so that's what that means. So it tells us that as a leader and as a leader of an the organization has to have values and don't deter from those values, whatever they are. Now, I may not necessarily agree with what they are, but that's not the argument. The argument is whether you have values and whether or not you follow those values as a part of the organization and as a leader of the organization. Diane,
Yes,
what do you think?
about Mm,
Values,
are you sorry?
about clear values.
Uh, a clear value, I can say that it clear values. I think it has relationship with standards or like uh maybe clear values like I think that might be some some standard or some principles that we have to follow so that we can achieve something.
Okay, right, right. Okay, now, one that comes to mind for me, and this is not biblical by no stretch of the imagination, but uh, starting on time, doing things in a timely fashion. That's it. I find that important for me. All right, so even if I'm supposed to be in a meeting and for some reason I'm not there at the time I'm supposed to be there, the meeting should start anyway. At the time it's supposed to start, not 10 minutes later, not a half hour later. Okay, we just start. So when we behavior, our behavior is one that we're always on time. I should be. Okay, again, if we're how we make decisions, there's certain things come into place. If our value says that we don't lie, then we don't lie. If our values say that we always do things uh that's going to help everybody and not just help one person, then we have to make a decision about something. We make sure we use that as a decision making process in the decision making process. But as a leader, it's our responsibility to make sure that the organization that we're leading has value, whatever they are, and they're clear. Everybody who's a part of the group understands and is bought into the values. Okay? In summary, Blanchard's vision framework involves understanding why the organization exists, that the purpose. What is the purpose of the organization? What it hopes to achieve? What's the picture? What is your fellowship going to look like 5 years from now? Okay, is it going to look the way it is now, or do you expect some changes to occur? Are you looking for changes to occur? And then, in order to make that happen, what values are you associating yourself with, so that when you have to make decisions, the decisions are consistent with whatever the values of your organization is that you're leading. Okay. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but let's make sure we understand that. Clarity of vision. John, can you read that?
Yes,
Okay.
Blanchard emphasizes the importance of having a clear, compelling vision that guides all aspects of leadership. This vision should be more than just a statement. It should be a vivid picture of what the future could look like. Biblical references, Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. This scripture underscores the importance of having a guiding vision for effective leadership.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Now, I think that part of this process is not only we talk about leaders of in the church or in a ministry, we also talk about leadership in our families or leading our own self. Okay. So my question to you, Diane, is do you have a clear vision of where you're going to be 5 years from now.
Do do I have a clear vision of where I want to be?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a clear vision of where you want to be.
Okay. All righty. All righty. And John, do you have a clear vision for your family of where you want your family to be 5 years from now?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
You sure? Okay. Now, again, now my second question is it written down somewhere or is it just in your head, John?
It's written down. We every as a matter of fact that every year we write all the month of the all the month of the year in the calendar, and we write for each month the goal that we want to achieve each month.
Okay.
And then we have to talk. We know what we want to do from 3 years from now. We know exactly what we want to have. We know what we are working hard to reach uh recently. So yeah, yes.
Okay.
Uh, Even though that yes, sometimes there's a plan. For example, the 3 years plan. It's written. Maybe not as clear as we want when you talk about it, but the big picture is in our mind. Yes,
Okay.
Selena.
Okay. Diane,
Yes.
is yours written?
Mm, uh, the now maybe it depends on the level, but now what's written is the man I want because he's the one whom we will, we will bring a family together. So that's what is written. The clear vision of exactly the man I want. So because I can see the family that we will breed through him.
Okay. Well, I'm, it, it's important that, that is written down and is very clear. And it's not, again, it says it's not just a statement. It's, I can look at it and see a picture of where you're going to be, where you want to be.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
That's for us individuals. That includes me as well. Okay. Now, now the question then becomes one of making sure that our values, we live within those values to reach that goal, whatever they may be. That we don't go out of those values. So, for instance, I could say that I want to whatever it is. Okay, which means I need some money to do it. All right, and if someone comes to me tomorrow and says, "Here's a job, but you got to work on Sundays." Okay, so now I can take the job, but I have done away with my values of not working on Sunday. Or I can say thank you, but no thank you, and continue and not take the job, not get the money, and continue to practice on Sunday. We understand?
So, Pastor Joe, what will you do?
Again, it's not a right or wrong. It's not what I would do versus what you would do. It's whatever you say your values are, you live with those. That's all we're trying to say.
And then it's very and then how to advise someone that comes to you with such question.
And I would ask them what's important to them. What's important that that they would to do that? That's what I would ask. Because the answer for me is not the answer for you. We're two different people. All right, and what I think is important and what you think is important may not be the same. And that doesn't make you right or wrong. So, for instance, an example I just gave, you may be a person says, "Well, church is important, but it's not so important. I got to go every Sunday." But my relationship with God is so important that I pray, I do my Bible study, I do all those things through the week. You may be the person that says that. Or you may be the person that says Sunday is the day of rest. I'm not supposed to work, and I'm not going to work on Sunday. So it's not a right or wrong answer. It is what you think it is, what you find important. And the key is that whatever you decide in your vision, that you make sure that it's in line with your with what you consider your values. And your values and my values may not be the same. Don't have to be the same. Okay?
Yep, agree. Yes.
Yeah. Diane, you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So again, one of the first things we need to do in this process is to align our values, make sure we understand what's important. When I do marriage counseling, one of the questions that I ask people is I give them 6 or 7 things and say, prioritize them. And then see how close the husband and wife get to having the same priorities. Because that's part of the vision, part of the, if I'm the kind of person who believes that everyone should go to church every Sunday, husband, father, children, always, then I'm gonna be hesitant about a job where I have to work on Sunday. That's just an example. Okay, we good?
Yes.
Okay, now it goes on and says that the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5-7, outlines values and principles that Christ set forth and how he said people should live and interact with each other. So the Sermon on the Mount talks about how you're supposed to treat your brothers and sisters. It talks about how your body, the pure, blessed are the pure in heart, but they shall see God. The Beatitudes. It talks about the things that we're supposed to have as a basis for how we live, including judging. Including judging. And is it okay to judge or not judge? Okay? Okay, decision making and wisdom. Jesus' leadership was marked by wise decision making, often challenging conventional wisdom and societal norms. An example, Jesus' interaction with the Samaritan woman at the well, John 4:1-26. He breaks social conventions, talking to a Samaritan and a woman to engage with her, showing inclusivity and challenging social norms. Now, Diane, do you know who Samaritans were?
Sorry?
Who were the Samaritans? Because they still exist. So who are the Samaritans? What's a Samaritan? Do you know?
No.
Okay, you may not. John, what's a
And I do not understand the question.
what is a Samaritan?
A Samaritan. Oh,
Yes.
someone who does things for free to people.
Oh, no, I told you in the Bible. What's a Samaritan?
A Samaritan.
Yes. It says here that Christ breaks the social convention and talked to a Samaritan and a woman. Okay. So what was wrong with him talking to a Samaritan? What
Um,
why was he not supposed to talk to Samaritans? Okay,
it's a mountain.
huh? Go ahead.
I'm not
Diane,
sure,
go
but
ahead.
yes, I was just thinking that the Samaritan, and I'm not really sure, but
Say
maybe
again.
the Jesus clans and the Samaritan clans were different.
Yes, and
Uh,
it was culturally unacceptable for a
Mm.
man to speak with a woman privately.
okay, y'all close. Let me first explain to you what a Samaritan is. Okay, a Samaritan is a partial Jew. It's in the Old Testament, the when they split up between the North and the South, some of the people in the South remained true to their religion, and they didn't marry anybody outside of their religion. They had to be Jewish, and they did that. The ones that went north, however, they did marry outside of the Jewish belief. Okay, and so they became Samaritans. So they were partially Jews and partially from from the from others nationalities. So the Jews, so even though the Samaritans still worship Christ to some degree, a God to some degree, they were not recognized by the Jews because they were not full-blooded Jews. Understand?
Can you come again, Pastor Joe? Explain again,
Okay,
please.
okay. When the tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, after Solomon's death, they split.
Mm.
Okay, some of them went north, what we call the northern Israel. The other was south.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Judah. Okay, so you have Judah. Okay, and what happened was that the ones who went north, instead of them only marrying their fellow Jews, they actually married people from other nationalities.
Okay.
Now, they still worship God to some degree, but they did not continue to only marry people who were Jewish.
Okay.
So that caused a split with them and the Jews as we know
Mm-hmm.
it. And that they're the Samaritans. Okay, and that's what caused the problem for them.
Mm.
And that's why they were not supposed to talk to each other. But the Jews weren't talking to
Okay.
the Samaritans. The Samaritans didn't care. But the Jews, the full-blooded Jews, didn't want anything to do with Samaritans.
Okay.
Okay, so Christ
Okay.
was
So so
yes,
Samaritan, so Samaritan, in conclusions, are people that married uh another people who was not from their south. Let's say maybe the north or the side part. Yes.
Or well, forget about North and South, they say they weren't Jews.
Okay. Okay.
They weren't Jews.
Okay.
Okay, so they married someone who was not a Jew, and you hear that today still, not just Jewish, but somebody who was white and they married somebody who's black, somebody in their family don't like it, somebody is from whatever country, or even within the country. I'm sure that with the countries where there's tribes, people, some people don't like people married outside of their tribe. Is that right? Is that right?
Okay. I got. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's the same kind of situation.
Okay.
Dan, you was gonna say?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. All right. So Jesus, what he did was taboo because one, he was talking to a woman, and two is that he was talking to Samaritan. And talking to Samaritan was more than was really the issue. Now, go back to what you said, John. People who do things for someone, and we call them a good Samaritan, that comes from the story of Samaritan, where the Samaritan helped the person on the road. That's why it's called a good Samaritan.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else there?
No, from a side.
Okay. All right. And we'll go back and talk about it a little bit more in detail a little bit. Teaching and mentoring. Teaching and mentoring. You as a leader, you have to teach other people and you have to mentor them. And what is the vision? Communicating the vision. Okay? Says effective leaders not only create a vision, but are also adept at communicating it in a way that is inspiring and mobilizing. This communication is a key function of the leader's head. An example, using stories, metaphors, and clear examples to articulate the vision in a way that resonates with team members and stakeholders. Again, making sure that everyone understands the vision. And it's your position, it's your responsibility as a leader to make sure that everyone that's in your group understands that. Okay? And then he goes on to say,
Okay.
Jesus spent a significant amount of his time teaching, not just the masses, but also mentoring his disciples, preparing them to continue his work. Diane, what's a mentor?
Yes,
Do you have a mentor?
mental,
Mentor, mentor. Do you have a mentor?
metal.
Right here. Mentor.
Oh, oh, um, I don't think so, but when I need someone, I can find someone to talk to mentoring me about the situation.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about mentoring a minute. Make sure we understand. A mentor is not a one-time event. It is over a period of time. That doesn't be lifetime, over a period of time. Okay. Where and the mentor is someone who has agreed to be your mentor. That you have actually asked them to mentor you, and they have said yes. And along with that, you have set up specific times where you meet. and you talk. So it's not on an as-needed basis. It is an ongoing basis. That's a mentor. It's not asking someone for advice. It's more than that.
Mm. Can I ask?
Yes,
Maybe it's not easy to, I don't know, but to ask someone, can you be my mentor? I mean, there must be some other deep connections because somebody to be your mentor, you need to be open to that person so that you can, so that he can also be able to mentoring you in something. That's why I said for me, some situations I say, this is too hard for me to be open to this person. And then I tell the other one to just like that. So I'm not sure if
well, you're on the right target. Again, mentoring is not asking advice.
mm,
Mentoring is not asking somebody for advice.
mm,
That's not mentoring. You know, you wake up this morning, you have a problem, and so you call someone and say, "This is
mm.
my problem," and they walk you through it. Not mentoring. That is not mentoring. That's all it is someone giving you advice. Mentoring is when you have an ongoing relationship with that person. And again, relationship does not have to be 5 years. It can only be 1 year, okay, or 2 years or whatever. Okay. And mentors change.
Oh,
Can change. Okay, it can change for different circumstances. Okay. But a mentor is someone again that you actively ask them, and they actively said yes. And see,
can your
sometimes
husband or your wife
I'm
be a
sorry, go ahead.
mentor?
Say again.
Can your wife or your husband be your mentor?
No.
Why?
It's the relationship. It's the relationship. See, your husband or your wife is going to tell you what to do. I tell you, they're more apt to tell you what to do than to just let you come up with your own answer. That's why. And then if you don't do what they said, and something happens, then they're gonna come back to you and say, "I told you." But that's just natural, you know. The husband
Mm.
is the leader. The husband is the leader of the house. Of the house. He can't mentor you too. I mean, not that he can't, but be very, 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 very challenging because he has to separate himself from you, his wife, to um to you, his mentee. Those are two different roles. And some people find that difficult to do. Most people find that difficult to do. An example. This is just an example. Um, and it's really not mentor, but I think you can understand the problem it presents. I have a couple that I know who are they're both active in the church, in a church, not JSF, in a church, and they're both on the same committee. Okay, and that seems to be okay initially, but when it's time to vote on something, the husband expects the wife to vote the same way he votes because he's the head of the household, and therefore she should have followed what he said. Now, is that right? Diane, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, should she follow what he said?
not always.
Okay, well, see, the problem with that is that as as a member of the committee, she's not independent. She's not making an independent judgment. She's following what her husband said, if she does that. If she don't do that, if she does what she wants to do, when they get home, they argue.
Mm,
So that's why that's an example I'm saying where it seems okay initially, but it can quite very easily get out of whack. Understood?
yes.
Okay. All right. So so I would suggest that you find a mentor that is someone female, in your case, female, uh who who again who you can have an ongoing relationship with, and again, it's a formal relationship. It's a formal relationship, one where you both agree to meet once a week or talk on the phone once a week or whatever that is, uh, with some regularly scheduled basis. Now, Christ was able to mentor his disciples because they were with them every day. So he was a teacher to them and a mentor. So they could, but that's not usual for us. Okay?
Mm.
Questions? Other questions? Okay, let's keep going. Another example here is the Great Commission, Matthew 28:16-20. Jesus instructs his disciples to spread his teachings worldwide, demonstrating the importance of mentorship and knowledge transfer and leadership. Too often, leaders don't transfer their information to someone else. And we're going to talk about that as well, because they don't want everybody to know what they know. So they fail to mentor. Yes, Jan.
I was thinking about leadership, Pastor Joe, when we have here the idea of knowledge transfer in leadership. Pastor Joe, why is that in this world, including me, even sometimes I am afraid to to show what I can do best to someone. Like I have reserved to, like here we talk about transfer in leadership or transfer of knowledge. Sometimes I'm afraid that you may know more than me in the
Right.
competitive world and no one wants to show you. What do you think about that?
A lot of people have that problem. Not everybody, but a lot of people have that same problem. And we can talk about it a lot more later as well. But it's because we're insecure. We are insecure. So we think the person is going to take our job or take our position or whatever it is. We can't live that life that way. I forget who it was. He said to me, he hires people who are smarter than he is. If the person is as smart as he is, then he doesn't hire them. Not because he's afraid of them, but because he wants people around him who know what they're doing. So we should be sharing information so that if something happens and you're not around, that person can still have the organization go forward as they should. Okay.
I got you, Pastor Joe. Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right. But again, that is a problem that a lot of leaders have, not just a few. And because we are afraid of somebody doing better than we. Okay. This is just another just kind of example. I might say, John, uh, I don't want you to preach next week. Okay, you say okay. And then next time, John, no, I don't want you to preach. And you begin to wonder why. And the why is that people tell me you preach better than me. So therefore, I don't want you to be seen better than me. So I just stop you.
Uh, uh,
Or on the other hand, I know that you were doing something wrong, or you can do better, but I don't tell you because I don't want you to be better.
yeah, that's bad.
That's bad, but that's what we do.
Yes.
That's what we do. We don't tell people, or what they need to know for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, going forward, strategic thinking and planning. Again, thinking ahead, vision. Okay, Blanchard points out that effective leaders like Jesus are also strategic thinkers. Okay, that's mean thinking not 2 years from now, not 3 years from now, but 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. And you're thinking about what's going to happen. Okay? All right. And it goes on to talk about use of the head in decision-making process, being a strategic thinker. Okay? Um, Leaders use their head to think strategically about how to achieve the vision. This involves planning, analyzing resources, understanding the environment, and identifying potential obstacles. An example, a business leader might use strategic planning sessions to map out how to achieve long-term goals while staying aligned with the company's mission and values. Most companies most companies have strategic planning meetings once a year. Okay, or maybe more often than that. Governments do the same thing. Have a strategic planning meeting. I know here in China, I don't know if it's every 2 years, every 3 years, I forgot, but everything closes down. You can't get into Beijing, you can't, or other places because they have a strategic plan for the country. So all organizations should have strategic planning sessions. Okay, Diane. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay. Problem solving. The head is also used in problem solving. Leaders face challenges and obstacles that require thoughtful, creative solutions that are in line with the vision and values of the organization. An example, addressing a financial challenge in a way that does not compromise the organization's commitment to ethical practices. Now, the problem solving can be very interesting sometimes because when you're trying to solve a problem, there's a fine line between complaining about the problem and finding a solution. How long are you spending finding a solution? How long are you spending just talking about the problem? That's an important factor when it comes to leading. Sometimes groups spend a lot of time talking about the problems and spend very little time coming up with a solution. Or they don't spend enough time on the problem because they don't know what the problem really is. So it works both ways. Okay, continuous learning. A key part of using the head effectively is being committed to continuous learning and growth. This means staying informed about industry trends, best practices, and new leadership strategies. You as a leader have got to continue to learn. Now, Diane, what's the difference between continuous and continually? This says continuous. Continuous. What's the definition of continuous? CONTINUOUS.
Going on.
Continuous. What does it mean?
It means something which is going on. And no, and on, keep going on.
Okay. What's continually?
Continually, repeat it repeatedly.
Without ceasing.
Yes.
Okay, continuous is not ceasing. Continuous is not ceasing. Continually, it goes off and on, off and on, off and on, continually. But it stops and goes, stops and goes, stops and goes. Okay?
Okay.
Mm.
So this is continuous. So it's kind of what you said earlier. It's never stopping. Never stopping. Okay? And you're learning. That's continuous. Okay. Ken Blanchard talks about the importance of self-reflecting and continuous learning. Regularly taking time to reflect on one's actions, decisions, and their impact. Always seeking, because you never know where the answer is going to be. Okay? Integrated vision and head in leadership practices. Diane, read that for us, please.
Regular review and adoption. Servant leaders regularly review their vision and the strategies to ensure they remain relevant and effective. They are open to adopt their approach based on new information or changing circumstances.
Continue.
Team involvement. They involve their team in the visioning process, encouraging input and buy-in, which help in aligning to team's effort with the vision. Ethical decision making. Servant leaders use their head to make decisions that are not only effective but also ethical and in line with their values.
Now, we keep going back, and Blanchard keeps going back to ethical and in line with their values. Okay, again, everyone's value is not the same. But as a part of an organization and your team has values, everybody has to buy into those. There's no, this is my values and that's your value. It's everyone's values gotta be the same. As a part of that team.
Oh, manager.
Say again? Okay. That's so important. So you have to get buy-in in the beginning. Team involvement, having them a part of come up with the vision statement. Having them become a part of the vision statement. So that everything you do, it's toward that goal, whatever it may be. Okay? Any questions, any response to that? Okay, again, alignment with values. The vision must align with core values. For servant leaders, these values often include service, integrity, humility, and compassion. Example, a leader in a nonprofit organization might develop a vision that not only aims at growth, but also ensures that the organization's activities remain true to its core value of service to the community. That doesn't change, doesn't waver. Okay, and then going forward, it says inclusive decision making. So, again, embracing diversity, inclusivity. Everyone should have a part in the conversation. Mentorship and development of others. And we talked about that. You got to mentor. Got to mentor. This includes providing guidance, feedback, and opportunities for growth.
Mary.
Yes, Sean.
No, Pastor Joe, I was talking to Mary.
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Okay, then balance and strategy with flexibility. While strategic plan is important, Jesus' ministry also shows the importance of being adaptable and responsive to changing circumstances. Leaders today should balance careful planning with the ability to adapt to unforeseen challenges. So you have a plan, but sometimes something gets in the way and you got to modify it a little bit. And you can do that, but you cannot modify it by changing your values. Your values still stay the same. So an example, we think that meeting together is important in GICL. So when we were before COVID, everybody came to church. Okay. All right. Now when COVID hit, then the church was closed down. So no one could come to the church. Does that mean we don't still meet? No, we adapt. We go on Zoom. And now we still meet on Zoom, but not physical. That's an example of how you modify your plan, but you still keep your values in place. You don't say because we can't come to church, we're not going to do anything. You don't do that. Okay? All right. Crafted a vision statement. Okay. And so we need to, one of the things we're going to do for homework is come up with a vision statement for your fellowship. Come up with a vision statement for your fellowship. Okay? Questions? Questions? Hello?
No question from my side.
Okay. Diane,
Yes, no question.
you understand what we need for next week? Next week class, we're going to go over your vision statement for your
Okay.
fellowship. Okay? Your vision statement for your fellowship. Or anything else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be fellowship. It could be any organization that you're a part of. Any organization you're a part of. Be okay. We good?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. All right. In summary, lead like Jesus emphasized that the head aspect of servant leadership involves not just intellectual capabilities, but also the application of wisdom, strategic thinking, and value-driven approach to leadership. By following these principles, leaders can inspire and influence others effectively, just as Jesus did. We good? Any questions for
Yeah.
tonight? Any questions for tonight's session?
No, from my side.
Not for
Pastor
Diane?
Joe, now general question.
Okay, hold a
Like
minute.
the,
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me stop the recording here. Okay. So do this.